Good evening, all the joinees. Hi, this is Ansu. I welcome you all to the webinar conducted by Engine Markets. By the time the others join in, let's have a look at today's webinar topic. So, the topic for today is overview of Indian markets and sectoral indices. Specifically, we would be focusing upon how you can compare different Indian indices with each other, and at the same time, how you can compare these indices with that of the global indices as well. Followed by that, we will be loading these indices towards the compare section and view their performance. In terms of performance, we would be focusing upon the risk and returns analysis for these indices. Along with that, we would be having a look at the point to point analysis. Next, we would be looking upon the drawdown and correlation analysis. Drawdown letting us know how quickly that index was able to recover from any loss that has happened in the past. And correlation will let us know how are the two index related to each other when we consider their movements. Post that, the quorum will be open for a Q&A session, a topic related Q&A. You could either unmute yourself or type down your questions in the chat box. So let us begin. So this is our markets tab on Engine Markets, which happens to be the landing page. Now, our topic related webinar again will be pertaining to this markets tab only. So right here in the markets tab, we come across this overview tab wherein you get to see this option called as market charts. Now in this section, you have option to add multiple benchmarks to this section. Now the option is simply typing in the name of that respective index. So we have a list of 211 odd benchmarks available. You could simply search for them. By default, Nifty 50 is something that gets loaded onto this line graph. You can anytime search for that benchmarks by simply doing a keyword search right here. So let's say I add a Nifty small cap 250 followed by a Nifty mid cap 150. So 3 index is what I have added in at the moment. Now, right here, you also have an option to set in a respective start date as well. And the option is available right here. You can click on this gray icon and you can set in a time period of your choice. So let's say I take in approximately a 5-year time period. So I would select August 26th August 2020 is what I have set in, and you get to see that the very start point for each of these index is since 26 August 2020. Right now, firstly, you can see right here, each of these index are starting from their respective levels, wherein Nifty 50 is at a level of 11,000, Nifty mid cap is at a level of 6,000, and Nifty small cap 250 is at a level of 5,000. However, you see the blue line, which is represented by Nifty 50, which is represented by Nifty 50 gets plotted right on top. Now, the reason for this is not because this index has performed the best. The reason is specifically the level. Now, if at all we see which sectoral index has performed the best, you can simply or quickly have a view right below this add indices to chart. So you can see out of these three that we have currently selected, Nifty small cap 250 is the one that is performing the best and which is represented by a green line. However, when we look onto this line graph, the green line happens to be at the bottom, not because it has not performed well, but because of its specific level. Now, in order to cater this issue, we have this option called as rebase, which once clicked it picks up a common start point of 100, post which you get to see a fair representation of these index. You can clearly see the green line currently showing up on the top, which says that this has performed better than the other two index that we are looking upon. Followed by that, here there are two more icons that you can come across. First is a camera icon, which can help you in taking a section specific screenshot. In addition to that, you can see an Excel download option as well. So clicking on this, you will get the levels of all the actively selected index for the time period that you have set in. So you can see in this Excel, the data for all the three benchmarks comes up as these were actively selected, and you can view this for the time period that you have set in. So you can see the last date being 29th August right here. Followed by that, in order to remove any of these benchmarks from these section, you simply have to click on this settings icon and click on this delete option. You can simply select on this delete icon and each of these data from this line chart then can be removed. Next to that, you can see this section called as market levels. So these are live market levels that you can see onto our platform. So these are certain indices. Next to them, you get to view their levels. Their today performance will come up when the market are live. Followed by that, you get to see the one-day return, the MTD and the YTD. Next, if we scroll down, we come across this Indian equity sectors. Right here, you could toggle between BSE as well as NSE indices as well. There's a simple toggle option to view for either of the two. Here as well, you get to see the index. Next to that, you get to see their levels and their one-day MTD and YTD data. Followed by that, you get to see a graphical representation of these index as well. That is, you get to see the best 10 BSE sectors as we have selected BSE indices. Hence, it is showing you the 10 best BSE sectors and 10 worst BSE sectors as well. You can view this for a period of 12 months, which comes up by default. You can change this to 6 months, 3 months, as well as 1 month as well. Now, let's say you wish to compare these BSE sectoral indices onto these line graph, or rather plot them onto the line graph. It's a very simple process. All you need to do is simply click on these options that you see, or rather the name of these index. So let's say I select a BSE Energy, a BSE FMCG, a BSE IT, and BSE Auto. So these are the four index that I have selected. The data has not changed yet. The start date is again 5 years ago. And as you can see, the rebase option is also activated, which is saying that each of them are starting from a start point of 100. So you can see that 5-year time period that we are analyzing, the red line, which is representation of BSE Auto as a sector, has outperformed in the past 5 years when we compare it with BSE Energy, FMCG, and BSE IT that way. Once we are through this, we come towards this right hand side, wherein you get to view world equity markets as well. So this is a section wherein you get to see international indices as well. And these index can also be compared with Indian sectoral index or Indian broad-based index as well. Now, how do you go about it will be, you can first thing, we will be removing these sectoral indices and we can add in our respective benchmarks. So let's say I add a Nifty 50, a Dow Jones, US representation, a NASDAQ, UK representation, and a FTSE. Again, we have not changed any data. The start date and rebase remains as it is. And right here, in terms of international index, other than Nifty 50, we get to see that the green line, which is the NASDAQ representation, is the one which is performing best or better among the other two for a time period of 5 years that we have taken under consideration. You can view their absolute return right here. Next to their name, you get to view their absolute return. Followed by that, on the top right hand side, you come across certain economic data as well. Now, these economic data are available for multiple countries. All you need to do is click on this checkbox and you can select your respective country for which the economic data is to be seen. For example, I've selected United Kingdom, and let's say for this country, you get to see the respective economic data. Now, let's say you wish to compare this economic data for multiple countries. You can click on this compare icon. So it shows you the GDP performance of various countries with each other. Here, a camera icon helps you to take in a screenshot of this image, which is GDP performance across various countries. In addition to that, for India as a country, we have an additional feature available as well. That is, history of this economic data is something that you can generate for India as a country. You could click on this graph. This graphical representation comes up, which indeed can be downloaded into an Excel format as well. Now, the source for these economic data onto our platform is Trading Economics. And this economic data for any country can be generated into an Excel as well. Now, every section that you get to see this camera icon can help you take a section specific screenshot as well. That is, this camera icon gives you a screenshot of this specific market level section only. However, let's say you wish to have a PDF of this entire page that you're currently having a look upon. You could click on this market wrap as an option. This once clicked, you get a PDF on your end, which comes up with a company co-branded logo in the premium and the pro version. On top left, it will be your company logo. Followed by that, you get to know that these are the actively selected benchmarks that will come up onto this PDF as well. In addition to that, under this equity sectoral performance, you see BSE is something that has come up. The reason being because before generating the market wrap, the toggle option was at BSE. And hence the PDF is coming up basis the active selection that has been done onto this markets tab. Now, once we are through this markets tab, we will be moving towards this compare section. Now, this is a section wherein not just funds or stocks, you can compare benchmarks or category averages with each other as well. Now, since we are specifically talking about indices today, we will be loading in only benchmarks onto this section. Now, the option to add a benchmark is mentioned right here, called as add other items, wherein there is an option called as search benchmarks. So let's say right here, I add in few BSE benchmarks. Let's say I take BSE small cap, then BSE mid cap, followed by that BSE 100 and a BSE 500. So these are the 4 index that I have loaded in right here. One thing that you need to know are these CAGR, standard deviation, Sharpe, Sortino, and value at risk. Each of these parameters for any component that you load to this compare section will be since their inception. Now, if you wish to view this for a specific time period in past, you will be required to set in a start date. And that option is available right here called as returns column. You can simply click on this settings wheel and can set in your respective start date. So let's say I take an approximate 3-year time period. So I've set in 26th August 2022 and I click on go. Now these data are respective for the time period that we have set in basis the start date. Followed by that, any of these column heading that you see, you have an option to sort them either in the ascending or in the descending order by simply clicking on the column heading. Now, basis its standard deviation, that is the risk undertaken, we get to see that BSE small cap happens to be the riskier in the 3 year time period that we are analyzing when compared to BSE mid cap, BSE 500, and BSE 100. However, the risk that has been undertaken is anytime compensated by the return that has been generated by BSE small cap to an extent of 21.7%. And same thing is something you can see in this Sharpe ratio as well. That is the risk adjusted return for BSE small cap is at 0.81. That is to say that for every unit of risk that is undertaken, 0.81 of return is generated. Now, right here as well, we have also added a new feature in the compare section called as this save column view. Initially, we only had this abacus section, which allowed you to select respective columns as per your requirement. However, the columns were not being able to be saved. Now, right here, we have given you an option to save this column view. How you can go about it is you can firstly select what all are the columns that you want while analyzing a list of fund. So since I am analyzing indexes, I would be requiring a specific columns only. Let's say I select H, AUM and TER, I would not be requiring for index. So I would be going to this price, which happens to be the levels of these index specifically, followed by that CAGR, standard deviation, Sharpe, Sortino, and certain returns column is what I would be selecting. Let's say a 1 day, 5 day, 6 month, 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year. So these are the columns that I specifically want while I am doing a research or analysis in this compare section main list, specifically on index. So what you can do is actively we have selected these 7 or 8 columns. You can give this a name. So let's say I add it as index watch list column. Right? So, and you click on save these columns. So this is how your column name saves right here, post which you also have an option to save these list of components that you have taken into the compare section, and the option is available mentioned right here. Save this list. You can simply give it a name and click on this save icon, and your list gets saved into this my list column. So all you need to do is the next time you log on to the system, simply come to the compare section, click on my list and load your saved list. Now, let's say I try to do the same process and I try to run an analysis on Nifty index that way. So I have already saved a list of 7 odd Nifty index. I'm clicking on that. So the list of index comes up. Along with that, only these 7 or 8 columns that I had specifically created using this column view has now come up. No other columns other than what I have selected is showing up. So this is a new addition of saving your column view that we have added onto the system. Now, right here, you get to see the specific columns. Followed by that, I would be moving forward towards the risk versus return scatter plot. So this is a scatter plot wherein on the x-axis, we consider annualized risk, that is standard deviation. And on the y-axis, we consider annualized return. And we have divided it into 4 quadrants basis the risk and returns. On top left, you get to see low risk, high return. Followed by that, on left hand side bottom, you get to see low risk, low return. And on the right hand side topmost section, you get to see high risk, high return. Followed by that, at the bottom, it is high risk, low return. Now, if any of the scheme or any of the benchmark gets plotted towards the right hand side of this scatter plot, those would be the ones that take in higher level of risk in consideration if it gets plotted towards the left hand side. Those would be the one taking in a lower level of risk. And in a similar way, if a specific component gets plotted on the upper end of y-axis, those are the ones which take in or generate higher level of return. In consideration, if it gets plotted onto this lower end, those would be generating a lower level of return. Now, right here, you also have an option to set in a start date as well. So let's say I set in a time period of 3 years in the past that we were initially also looking as well. So I've set in 26th August 2022 and I click on go. Now, basis this 3 year time period, we get to see that Nifty Realty is the one that happens to be in the high risk, high return quadrant. That is to say that it is taking in a risk, of course, a higher risk of 25%, which anytime is compensated by a higher level of return when compared to the other Nifty index that we have taken to this compare section. Now, if we look upon Nifty FMCG, it is in this low risk, low return quadrant. That is taking in a lower level of risk and generating a lower level of return. Now, any plotting that you see onto this risk and return scatter plot is typically a relative plotting of each component against the other component that way. This data, you also have an option to download the same in Excel as well. So in a similar way, you can set in different time periods and anytime take an Excel download of the same. So this is how your Excel down data will come up, the name of the component followed by the risk and returns undertaken by each. Post risk versus return, we go to the point-to-point analysis. So this is a section which lets us see how have the components performed basis more like a lump sum investment that you have done. So you get to see the name of the securities, be it funds or be it benchmarks that we are currently looking upon. Followed by that, you get to see 5 buckets. Each of these are editable. That is to say that you can set in a respective start and end date of your choice. Now, let's say I try to create a specific scenario. So you can see there are certain scenarios that I have already created. This is like a month to year to date scenario, the first box, followed by that a month to date scenario that I have created. Now, let's say I try to create a more like a 3 year or rather a 2 year time period right here. So I would be selecting 2023, let's say 30th August till the latest date. Now, this data, you can view this either in amount form or in percentage format. We have provided two options for the same, CAGR or absolute that way. So you can select absolute when the time under consideration is less than a year. For example, this YTD or MTD data that we have set in for those the for viewing the absolute return, you can select this absolute toggle as an option. You can also click on this sort option to sort and view the data either in the ascending or in the descending order. So in the year to date time period that we are analyzing, the sector that was drastically affected happens to be Nifty IT to an extent of 16.8, which is negative 16.8, followed by Nifty Realty, which was to an extent of negative 13.9. However, there are these three index or sectoral specific index that you see have remained constant, or you can say have not gone down to the negative quadrant that way. Nifty Bank, Nifty Commodities, and Nifty Metal. In similar way, you also get to see in a MTD time period as well, Nifty Commodity and Nifty Metal are the two sectors that indeed have given positive returns only. Now, for a time period more than a year, you can use this CAGR as a toggle option as well. So right here, let's say I try to sort basis this 3 year time period that we are looking upon. 2-year time period that we are looking upon. I'm simply sorting this data. Of course, Nifty Realty has given in indeed a good performance, but you can also see that when the markets were volatile, it was indeed falling down to a great extent as well. So market volatility does affect this sector. However, if we try to look upon Nifty Metal and Nifty Commodity as a sector, we get to see that these two sectors have a considerate or a moderate level in terms of their returns changing. Even during the time when the markets were volatile, these were the only two sectors that were able to generate positive return. They did not stoop down to the negative return quadrant. And hence, you can ensure that they do have certain level of consistency in the returns that they are showing. This data as well, you can generate in an Excel format. In addition to that, a graphical representation of the same, that is a chart view of the same, is also possible, which can be downloaded as an image by simply clicking on this camera icon, which downloads the image of this data. Post this, we would be moving towards the drawdowns tab. Now, drawdowns lets you know how quickly a specific benchmark, or for that matter, a fund, is recovering from any loss that has happened in the past. Now, in order to read the data, you're supposed to click on this graph-like icon. Now, the start date again, you get to see is something called as 12th July 2011, which you can edit on your side as well. So let's say I again take in a 3-year time period that we had selected initially for all the tabs. And now I click on this graph icon. So right here, it gives you an explanation of drawdown for Nifty Bank that way. So it says that for this sector, the loss was to an extent of 11.9%, wherein the Nifty Bank, which was at a level of 54,300, it fell down and it reached a level of 47,800. Now, this happened during the time period of 26th September 2024 till 11th March 2025. So the level stopped falling post this date of 11th March 2025. Now, the total number of working days between the start date and the end date happens to be 166. That is what is denoted by length. Next to that, it says the recovery. That is, how many days, how many working days did this sectoral index take to recover from this loss? That is, to cross this start price of 54,300 post the end date of 11th March 2025. That is, post 11th March 2025, it took a total of 29 days for this index to recover. And the recovery happened on 21st April 2025. So, although the loss was indeed to an extent of 12%, which sustained for a total of 166 days, the loss was recovered in like a total of 29 days only. You can view this movement onto this line chart as well. The gray region shows you the drawdown phase and the white region will show you the recovery phase. Now, if we try to locate this 21st April 2025 onto this line chart, I'll just zoom in this section. Yeah, right here you get to see 21st April, the levels was 55,300, which is indeed higher than our start price or the start level, which was 54,000. And hence 21st April was recorded as the date of recovery. Now, in certain sections, you get to see that it has been mentioned as ongoing. That is typically saying that the loss that was sustained by this respective sectoral index has not yet been recovered. It is still ongoing and it currently will let you know to what extent the loss has been recovered. So in this compare section drawdown tab, we would be showing you the top 5 losses that are experienced by each of these benchmarks. And lastly, we would be covering this correlations tab. So correlation lets you know how two funds or how two components are correlated to each other when we consider their NAV movement. Now, in order to read the data, you just need to keep your cursor on any of these styles. So, for example, I've kept on this 0.35%. So, on the left, we see Nifty FMCG gets highlighted, and on top, Nifty Realty gets highlighted. So this says that if Nifty FMCG goes up, 35% of times Nifty Realty will also go up in the similar direction. Now, this is also valid in the vice versa, the other way around, which is to say that if Nifty FMCG goes down, 35% of times Nifty Realty will also go down in the similar direction. Now, if at all we see Nifty FMCG has indeed lower correlation with every other Nifty sectoral index that I have taken into consideration, except for this Nifty 50. So we can see each of these sectoral index correlation with Nifty FMCG is less than 0.50 or 0.55. So right here, let's say if I try to locate onto this Nifty metal and Nifty commodity, which says that the correlation is to an extent of 0.87, which is indeed a higher correlation. So, looking at this correlation data, you can decide to keep either of these two sectoral fund in your portfolio, as the final outcome would be the same, as they are correlated to an extent of 0.87 percentage. So correlation will range from -1 to +1. The more closer it is to +1, the stronger is the correlation. And on our platform, we calculate these correlations on a daily basis. So you can see that for a year, we have 260 data points to calculate these correlation data. Hence, you can ensure accuracy onto the system that way, or the data that you see onto our system. So this was it for the topic related webinar. If anyone has any topic related query, you can either unmute yourself or type down your questions in the chat box. Additionally, if there are some other than the topic related queries, you can put in your contact details in the chat box and our team can reach out to you for the same. Any questions, please let us know.
Yeah, I have a question. But
Sorry.
this is not related to. I have a question, but this is not related to the
Uh,
Sensex or something like benchmark.
Sure. So what you can do is maybe you can put in your number in the chat box and our team can reach out to you for the same.
But the question is related to the correlation itself. So maybe if you can show it right now, I mean, that would be helpful.
Yes, you can go ahead then.
Yeah, maybe instead of having the benchmarks, maybe if we can have different funds
Hmm.
of, yeah, maybe different funds, maybe two portfolios, and then we can see the correlation and how we can use that.
Yes, sure. So the reading that way will anytime be the same as I did for the benchmarks. Right. So I have added in the funds, and let's say I try to read this with iPro large cap for this flexi cap fund. Let's say Parag Parik and iPro large cap. So it says that if the NAV of iPro large cap goes up, 77% of times the NAV of Parag Parik will also go up in the similar direction. So this is not letting you know the magnitude of change. This is letting you know the directional similarity in terms of their NAV movement specifically.
Is it only related to NAV movement, or is it about that how the funds will be impacted overall in terms of like what all stocks are being selected within these particular schemes, maybe these two schemes, large ICICI large cap and Parakparik flexi cap. So maybe the schemes within these funds, how they are correlated. Is it? I mean, just a question, like is it only limited to NAV or the portfolio of these particular schemes?
Uh, yes, I mean, it is related to the NAV, which indeed is made out of the underlying components, right? The underlying stocks that are there for each of these funds. That is how we arrive at a weighted average NAV for every fund.
Yeah, one more thing to add here is correlation is calculated directly from NAVs. If you're interested in the holdings, you can have a look at the overlaps tab. That instead of focusing on NAVs, it actually looks at the underlying holdings and what is common between two funds.
So we can use it in the manner that which is like highly overlapping. We can avoid any one of them and we can go for the one which are less overlapping, right?
That's right, yes.
So there was a question in the chat box mentioning if the recorded session will be available. Yes. So we have a dedicated YouTube page for all the webinars that have been conducted up until now. You can anytime visit our YouTube page. Today's webinar will be uploaded onto the same by next week that way.
I have two questions, can I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so one is with respect to this market tabs,
Mm.
yields are available. The corporate bond yields and GSEC yields are also captured.
In the market section specifically,
Yes.
no, these are the levels that we capture for each of these index that way.
Okay. No bond market related.
Yes.
No, currently we don't have any kind of fixed income data from that, and we have some data which is in the economic data section, but we don't have corporate bond yields.
Yeah. And another question I had was with respect to drawdowns that you were showing, with respect to recoveries.
Yes.
Yeah. So at what level it calculates the drawdown? What is the ceiling of that? I mean, it won't be on daily basis, right? What fall is considered under drawdown?
No,
Yes.
it is actually daily basis. However big the drawdown is, it will calculate. There's no ceiling. It basically starts counting from. Firstly, it looks at daily frequency data, and it starts counting as soon as the price starts falling. It is considered a drawdown, and it will keep counting it as a drawdown until the price creates a bottom and turns back up again. So that's how it counts a drawdown. And then what we're showing here is the worst 10. So it counts all of them and then basically shows you the worst 10 right now.
Okay. So, can we select the period like for last 10 days or 15 days? What?
Well,
How?
yeah, I mean, if you select such a short period, you'll get very, very small 1 to 2 day drawdowns. But I mean, the period is the entire whatever period you select. Um, it will ignore everything else. So if you select the last 3 year period, um, it will find loss making periods within that 3 year period. So if you select only the last 15 days, it won't really find that many loss making periods because there are only 15 data points. Um,
Yeah.
if you select a large enough period, nothing will get missed. If you select the period, it will count any loss. No loss will get missed here because it's on a daily frequency calculation.
Okay. Understood. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll log off. Thanks for the session.
Sure, no problem.
If there are no other questions, I think we can close for the day.
Yes, sir. Being in, you can anytime visit our YouTube page. We have a dedicated playlist for all the webinars that have been conducted up until now. Today's webinar will also get updated by next week. We have a total of 167 webinars. Thank you all for joining in. Hope to see you again next week with a new topic. Thank you.